comments. We appreciate all of you watching. For everyone who's been in the chats, Ashley, Kyle, Andrew, everybody, Kate, everybody else who's joined in. Even Handy has joined in the comments, which I love. Because he's sitting there probably going, well, I'm not talking right now. Let me type something here. Let's see if I can get some more time. Anyways.
I thought my
But again,
comments out there
we're
when you got the videos up.
right, exactly. Right, that's what I'm saying. You get in there and comment on the video after that impassioned speech by producer Sean there. That was good. But again, it's come to that time of the show, everyone. It's kind of one of my favorite segments, I think, for the whole thing, because this is just us shooting straight from the heart and giving you, of course, this is our segment we call One Last Thought. So let's go with that. And with that, Mr. Handy, we'll start with you today. Go ahead and give us your one last thought, sir.
My one last thought for the day. A lot of these tend to, they're like a lot of our stuff is like our last thoughts are like Venn diagrams because they all overlap each other.
Yeah,
and
sometimes yes.
sometimes they do, but a lot of the things that we talk about. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, my last thought today is just, no, I said that before. I'm going to say it anyway. Appreciate the folks you love, the folks that you say that you love, show them their appreciation while you have them, because life is really, 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 really short. Even if you live to be 96 years old, like the recently departed Queen of England, the Queen of the United Kingdom, it's still really short. It goes by an eye blink, and the time to tell someone or show someone you love them is not after they're gone, because they're not here to appreciate it. Or if for whatever reason they decide they no longer want to be a part of whatever you have going on, it's too late to show them then whether you loved how you love them and appreciate them. While you got them, let them know, and let them know as often as you possibly can. And that's all I've got to say about that, because I could talk about that for hours. So thank you for my minute and a half.
No, we appreciate anything you have to say, my friend. We truly do.
Especially
Delilah,
when I keep it short.
You're a funny guy.
So my one last thought is, as we see the news, national media keeps talking about like teacher shortages. I want everybody to understand one thing. Teachers leaving the professions isn't because we don't love teaching and we don't love the students. It's just the lack of respect as a profession and as professional. So many of us continue to go back to school all the time. We get multiple bachelor's degrees, masters, doctorates. We do all these different things that other professionals do. And still at the same time, we are not regarded as other professionals in, with similar kind of backgrounds and education and things like that. So I think I want everybody to really understand that first and foremost. It's not the students. And so when you're looking at all these things like, oh, why don't teachers want to come to work and all of this, it's not just the money, because by the way, teachers are severely underpaid as a professional. It's not that. It's the lack of respect, the lack of support, the lack of accountability. And then anytime we see what the changes they're making, which is they're lowering standards to hire educators,
yes.
and that's not what we wanted, right? So if you look at what they're doing, right, they're lowering the qualifications needed to be an educator, so they could underpay those people, by the way. Okay, so they don't have to pay them well. They could pay them really unwell, but then they're the ones that are going to be in your classrooms teaching your students, your children. Right. They're going to be in the class, these adults that never went to school to be a teacher. They didn't get any sort of formal training, not even a certificate to be a teacher. They didn't even haven't even subbed, by the way. Spend no time, right. But they're lowering all these standards just because they're trying to fill in seats instead of looking at the real issue, which is funding education equitably, so we have the resources, treating the teachers with the respects that they need, and listening to when they're talking about like, hey, we love the students, but there's some behaviors that are going a little crazy. Everybody's seen the videos with students pushing teachers to the ground, and like, we get it, but at the same time, we also want some protection and like, hey, how can we make this work? And so,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I really wanted to make sure everybody understands that teachers are not leaving or quitting or not wanting to be educators because of the students and the children necessarily, because we don't love our vocation. Instead, they don't want to get treated as what's being happening right now. No one, right? You're seeing all these changes, and they don't trust a professional to actually provide an education to these students. And all they're doing is lowering the quality and qualification. So parents, pay attention to where you're sending your children to school. Look at who they're hiring and replacing classroom teachers with and how they're doing it. There is a school district in California asking parents to take in teachers to live with them because teachers can't afford to live there. They can't afford rent. They cannot afford rent. So instead of the solution being, hey, maybe we should make things more affordable or maybe give them a raise so they could pay to live in an apartment at least. No, they're asking parents to board teachers, okay, to provide room and board. So I want you to think about that. Does that make sense? That they're asking parents to allow teachers to move in with them because those teachers can't afford rent in this school district. So just again, pay attention. Please do your homework on where you're sending your kids to school. Look at what their hiring policies are and who those adults are there who are supposed to be providing instruction and support to your students. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Please be aware of that, okay?
And all of God's people said amen. I'm not.
That's
No, it's not a joke though. I do appreciate, Delilah, what you had to say there. I think people sometimes with education, they take it lightly, or they, okay, as long as my kid does okay, we're good. We send them to school, blah blah blah. But there's a lot going on there, and again, that could be a whole nother topic for a whole nother time on some of the hiring practice going on, especially here in the city of Chicago with some of the ads I've seen lately, looking for teachers with absolutely no qualifications just so they could have somebody in the classroom. So I feel what you're saying there, and I do, please guys, do your research, right? Do your homework. The kids are our future. Not to quote Whitney Houston, but I believe the children are our future. Never mind. Don't do it, Andy. I know what you're going to go into next.
No, I wasn't going to do that. I was not going to do that. I wanted to jump in and say that too. I never forget the first time that I saw one of my kids' teachers working the job over the summer, and I was like, "You got a second job?" And I'm like, "Yeah, got to."
Right.
Because they don't get paid enough. And there's some districts where I saw a thing where they were hiring I think it was National Guard service members to and military veterans with no teaching certification to come and teach. So yes, Delilah, to Ash. I don't know. There's some other people in the crew that teach. We seriously, I'm gonna just say this on behalf of everybody. We appreciate everything that you do. Everything.
Yep.
There's a big part of who I am because of some of the teachers that I had growing up, and I have a hard time imagining that they're not taking care of these folks the way they're supposed to. I mean, it's hard for me to wrap my head around that. Anyway, I'm done. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I know it's a passionate subject, and I know we're all passionate about it. So I appreciate your guys' thoughts and comments on that. I can talk today. Sorry, I do apologize. I'm getting over a cold, so my voice may sound a little different, still a little nasally, but I'm working through it. I'll be okay. My one last thought for today is actually a little more on the funny side, just because, people may or may not know this. I'm a big diet soda drinker. It's kind of one of my things. I try to justify going, well, I don't want to drink my calories, so I'll drink a Diet Coke because it's 0 calories, right? But I found very recently, that I have an affection for Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now you ask, why is this significant, Nick? And why are you even talking about this? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they actually got me to switch my diet soda drinking. Because I was a Diet Coke man for a long time, or the Coke Zero, as it were. I thought, man, it's nothing better than this. And then I happened to one day at work have a Pepsi Zero Sugar, and my life has been changed forever. So now, just so you guys know, if you ever see me, you'll see me with a Pepsi Zero Sugar in my hand. That's all I have to say about that. So that's my one last thought for this week is
Thank you, Nick.
Drink Pepsi Zero Sugar. Right.
Thank you.
I try. I love all you guys. Yeah.
The dichotomy here is just so crazy. Love the people you're supposed to love. Take care of the teachers. I like Diet Pepsi.
I love it.
I like Pepsi.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.